Welcome back to the Weekend Primetime. We begin this hour with a showdown in the Old West and the redistricting fight that began in Texas and has now spread throughout the country. The Texas House is set to reconvene tomorrow after several failed attempts at reaching a quorum 1 week into a walkout by state Democrats. And it all comes as we've seen top Texas Republicans try every trick in the book to force the Democrats back to the Lone Star State. Senator John Cornyn has called on the FBI to help track down Democrats, even though the FBI legally can't arrest them. And then Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has asked the state Supreme Court to expel 13 of those Democrats. And Governor Greg Abbott has specifically signaled out State Representative Gene Wu, the top state Democrat in Texas, for expulsion. And now Representative Wu joins us. Representative Wu, I just want to talk about particularly the lawsuits that have been brought to try and remove you from abandonment of your position, understanding that there's some level of confusion as to who can file the lawsuits, who has the actual authority to file these lawsuits. Where is that effort going, and how do you intend to defend against those first and foremost?
Well, I mean, right now the current situation is just absolute insanity. They're filing motion after motion in Texas and in other states. Ken Paxton filed a motion in California. Even though he's not licensed to practice law in California, and that may be a crime in itself. What he filed in Illinois is just laughable, and all over. The only thing that people need to take away from this is that these are immense distractions because they are desperate. They're desperate to talk about anything other than why are you lying, cheating, and stealing from the American people? That's the question that they don't want to answer. That's the question that they want the public to stop asking. But so they're going to throw everything they have at us. Every nonsense thing that they can do in court, they're going to do it.
Governor Greg Abbott has been doing the round, talking to reporters and basically saying, look, it is a matter of time until they get you guys, you're brought back, or basically that you all should move in, get comfortable in Illinois or California or wherever you've gone, because he's going to keep bringing session after session back. Take a listen to some of what he said.
I'm authorized to call a special session every 30 days. It lasts 30 days. And as soon as this one is over, I'm going to call another one, then another one, then another one, then another one. If they show back up in the state of Texas, they will be arrested and taken to the Capitol. If they want to evade that arrest, they're going to have to stay outside of the state of Texas for literally years.
Well, you heard him right there. Another one and another one and another one and another one. Are you just delaying the inevitable? And if not, what exactly does the game plan look like now?
Yeah, listen to that clip again. Listen to the tone of his voice. He is desperate. He is like trying to look tough in a situation where he is getting slammed. This is incredibly unpopular, not only with Texans, but with all Americans. And what they're seeing is the poll numbers are flipping on them. Governor Abbott's poll numbers are dropping. The popularity of Republicans among people are just dropping. People are now seeing them for what they really are, that they're liars, cheaters, and thieves. And they're trying to push this all through not only Texas, but through the rest of the nation. They've spent the last 50 years stealing everything from us, our education, our jobs, our health care. There's only one thing for them to steal left, and that is our power. That is our democracy. And what they're trying to do is take attention away from that and talk about anything else, how tough Greg Abbott is. The American people are no longer going to be fooled. We have had enough.
Gene, what is the long-term outlook, though, in terms of tactics when there is a lot of political risk and there's a lot of financial risk? This is incredibly expensive, from the planes that had to be chartered to bring legislators out of state to the ongoing hotel cost. This is really, really expensive, and it's going to cut into Texas Democrats' bottom line when it comes to, say, trying to, broaden your map at the local level. So How long does this continue for, breaking quorum? And what does it look like when you go back, and what's your next step?
That's a lot of questions. But
Sorry.
Look, from the very beginning, we've said that our objective here was to end the corruption of this special session. And we're going to try to give the opportunity, we're trying to buy time for not only Texans, but for all Americans to finally have the ability to pay attention to what's going on, to see what is happening, and most importantly, to speak up against it, to rise up, to stand up for your community and say, no more. We've had enough of this. Enough of this self-healing, enough of this corruption, enough of this, like, always telling us that you're going to take care of us, but all you do is take care of yourselves and take care of your buddies. We're trying to buy enough time for that. And there's only a few weeks left of this special session. What we're hoping for, what our objective here is in Illinois and every place that we've gone to, is to go to the American people and say, this is not about Democrats. This is not about Republicans. This is about the American dream. If we are to live in a society in the future where our voices don't matter, kiss the middle class goodbye, kiss the American dream goodbye, because none of it will exist, because the people who are in power will continue to take from us and take from us and take from us until there's nothing left. The only way we can push back, the only way we can fight back, is we use our power, use our vote to change the election, and that's what they're trying to take. We're always hoping Governor Abbott will do better in the next special session, but it depends on the public to make him do that.
I appreciate the fight, and I really do think that more people who you're trying to reach need to hear the passion in your voice. But if that doesn't happen, if we don't get to that point, the numbers certainly suggest that you all will be on the sort of losing end of this. And it seems like we may be, unfortunately, delaying the inevitable. So as far as expectations are concerned, what do you say to the Democratic voter who is, on one hand, happy about the fact that there seems to be a fight on their behalf and behalf of the American people in Texas, but at the same time are looking for a metric of success that they can embrace? What do you say to that person?
Yeah. So we took this on, knowing full well that at the end of this, all of this, we may be crushed under Greg Abbott, right? His will be done. But what we're trying to do is buy time for not only Texans to react, but for the rest of the country to react. You're watching in California what they were just talking about. That we had a press conference there yesterday saying that California is going to drop its own trigger map, meaning that they're going to drop new maps, but they will not go into effect unless Texas does this corrupt thing. And we're hoping that New York will say, we're going to drop a map. But we will say that it would not go into effect unless Texas or other red states do what is distasteful and corrupt. And we're hoping all blue states across the board say all the same thing, creating a situation where we have at least have a Cold War standoff where nobody fires their nukes because we're afraid the other side will fire all their nukes. I'm sorry that this is where our country has gone to, but there is no other choice. Just like we had no choice but to leave Texas to stop this corruption, other states, we're telling them, you have no choice now. You have to do this distasteful thing, or our democracy, our nation, the American dream is gone. It's toast. It's over.
So, Gene, based on what you're saying, should we anticipate that this is going to go on for another couple of weeks with Texas lawmakers, Democratic lawmakers,